I said 7%. This year, it will be 7% or less. We're already right now in the door, in the bank, 1,150,000 members. And last year we ended at 1,200,000. We got the rest of the year to go. And in the second half of the year, we actually pick up a lot of members. I think we're going to hit 1,200,000 again. But to be careful and not budget poorly, they've all now come back and said they think it's 10 or 12%. I say, I still think you're wrong. It's going to be 6 or 7 or 8%. So it's held up much better than people would have expected. Unemployment has something to do with that. You know, I don't know if you like that or not, but when people lose jobs, they think, well, I'll jump in and sell real estate till I find a real job, right? You've heard all that kind of talk. So we get some of that. Right Tools right now, I think, has saved a bunch of people. I'd like to think so. But the number is incredibly strong, actually, considering the situation.
I was just going to ask you, with the consumer-facing site and the information, the engagement that you're doing with the consumer and the information that you're going to be providing them with and things along those lines,
right.
Are you going to then try to mirror that site for a uniform message to the agents as well, so that they are informed as far as saying, here is what the people are actually looking for, this is the information that they're exposed to on the consumer site, this is how we roll it out, so that there is a uniform message
very
that
good.
is.
We could use you. That is precisely one of the reasons is all that analytical data. I mean, you're talking about millions of hits a month.
Yeah.
Right now, Realtor.org gets, from the outside, what, 1 million hits close to a month?
Yeah.
And that's without even trying. So all those hits mean something to you. What are they asking about? I can tell you right now, Information Central. Information Central is the phone bank up on the 4th floor. Takes 200,000 calls a year, 60,000 emails a year, with a 98%, excuse me, with a 98% satisfaction rate. And every month we find out from them, what were they asking this month?
Sure.
What, you know, because we need to know. We need to figure out what we're not giving them.
Well, I was just because I think that there's kind of I was talking to the guys who are redoing your website and all that, and I think that there's just this fracture of, here is what NAR is saying, and by the time it makes its way down to the agent passing that information on to their client, and as a coach, it's kind of like you want to find the factual data and take it directly so everybody on the same team is saying the same message.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're trying to do. It's just one path we're going down, one analytic. RPR, Realtor Property Resource, everybody know what that is? Realtor Property Resource. It is a database of every parcel of property in the country. 70 million homes. It is information on every home in the country. Free to members. It's a member-only database, including every FSBO, every list, everything is in this database. And it's going to be provided to you for free. And it's going to have all the tax data and all the records data and all the data that we can get by buying collectively ourselves on your behalf instead of 900 MLSs dumped into these buckets with 20 years of history. And then we're going to say, now, others could reproduce that. I'll give you a second. Others could even reproduce that, right? They might spend more money doing it, or they might have a different way. So why are we doing it, and why will ours be the best? Ours will be the best because you get to add comments to it. You get to put in a conversation about a property that nobody else in your neighborhood, because you're better at knowing those neighborhoods and how to think about them than anybody does. You'll have a way of saying it that will be in that database, coded, date stamped, know exactly who said it when. That will be more current and more valuable than any database in the world, as far as I'm concerned, because of 1 million people adding to it.
Will the homeowners be able to see what's being said about their home?
No. Well, we have to work all that out, frankly, because there's a lot of legal liability issues,
right,
etc. But that's why it's a private database just for the members. What you do with the data, how you take it, and how you analyze it, and how you deliver it to your customer is your personal value. And so we just want to give you as much of the information as possible so that you can take your personal intellectual power, which separates you from the one next to you, and say, this is how I see this data. This is how I spin it. This is, you take that analytics with the consumer analytics, and now pretty soon you've got an awful lot of information about people, what they're looking for, resources and properties, and what could match them up with that. And we think that that's a pretty good arsenal to compete in this kind of world.